The first session is Elite Innovators Exchange. In this session, prominent leaders from the Cyberport community who have successfully navigated the complexities of growth, excelled in business scaling, fundraising, and technological breakthroughs will share their compelling entrepreneurial journeys and successful stories. They will offer invaluable insight into the strategies and breakthroughs that have propelled them to where they are today. And first of all, I would like to invite the moderator of this session. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause and welcome Engineer Eric Chan, Chief Public Mission Officer, Hong Kong Cyberport. Welcome, Eric. And moving on, let's welcome our panelists, including Mr. Sheldon Lee, co-founder and CEO of Buy&Ship. Welcome, Sheldon. And next we have Mr. Arthur Lam, co-founder and CEO of Negawatt Utility Limited. And moving on, we have Mr. Felix Kan, CEO of Cyberbay. Welcome. And finally, let's welcome Mr. Pak-Sun Ting, CEO of Votee A.I. Welcome you all. And now I'm going to pass the stage over to you, Eric.
Hello, thank you. Right, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you guys have a good lunch break. And hopefully you are not too full, right, and getting too sleepy because we have an exciting panel now, waiting for you, right? So the title, right, of this part of the CVCF is called Elite Innovation Exchange. So you could expect that all our panelists here are elite, and actually they are stars of our tech ecosystems, right, from the Cyberport community, right? So by alphabetical order, right, we have Mr. Arthur Lam, the co-founder and CEO of Negawatt Utility Limited, right? And then we have Felix Kan, CEO of Cyberbay. And then we have Mr. Pak-Sun, the CEO of Votee A.I. And then we have Mr. Sheldon Lee, the co-founder and CEO of Buy&Ship, right? So let's get started. Since we are talking to the stars, the experienced incubatees from us and also tech ventures companies. So I want you guys to promise me, right, to give me some substance, right? Not anything cliche, right? So what I want to do is really, this is the Venture Capital Forum, and we are talking about raising money, especially on our scale-up journey, right? So first of all, I would like to invite each and every one of you to talk a little bit about, what problem are you trying to crack, right? And then, a little bit of your experience in your scale-up journey, right? So let me get started with maybe, Felix?
Yeah,
right?
sure.
So Cyberbay, I understand that you have just launched the first of its kind bug hunting campaign, right? Co-organized with the Hong Kong police, and it was a great success, right?
Yeah, thank you.
So and you have also just informed me that you have just graduated from our incubation program.
Yeah, I'm
You
excited.
have made it. You have made it through.
We made it. Yeah.
So thank you. So could you share with us, your business, what you're doing, and also what's your plan on your scale-up journey?
Yeah, in short, Cyberbay is a cybersecurity platform that helps organizations to solve their cybersecurity problem. So for example, on a daily basis, organizations got hacked because they cannot foresee or predict, are they going to be the next victim? When I say next victim, I mean like things happening 1 minute later. There's no prediction, there's no visibility. And if they want to get prepared, they need to do some security assessment to get themselves prepared. But assessment is costly. And that's why some of the more mature companies can only afford to do that annually, once a year. And the talent pool is really limited. We see a global shortage of cyber talent of 2.1 million, and 60% of that gap is actually for Asia Pacific. So what Cyberbay does? We help our corporate client to recruit the elite ethical hackers, cybersecurity researchers on our platform. We vetted their background, we train them, we nurture them, and allow them to perform continuous assessment for the corporate. And we also have our AI that will do a cybercrime prediction for each of our corporate clients and see, based on the attack surface they have, like what websites or mobile apps they have, how likely are they going to be the next victim, so they can do some tailor-focused protection to prepare for the worst and be able to protect their digital asset and ready for the exciting growth.
So what's your plan? What's your plan, for your next step? How are you going to scale this business?
So to scale the business, first of all, what we have already done is we help our organizations to look for technical bugs, and then we give them recommendations how to fix it. And then the company, after they fix it, we will help them to verify the patches. Are they good enough? So we are looking at fixing the cyber issue from an engineering perspective. However, we can also imagine if a platform or a website have a bug or security weaknesses, there must be something wrong beneath the process, the governance. So what we are going to do next is we will launch our AI to help our corporate client to look at their security policy and also map the bugs we identify with the governance and also the process areas. So we started off in Hong Kong. We use Hong Kong as our pilot market. So after our success launch with the working with the Hong Kong Police Force, with the CSTCB, the Cyber Security and Technology Crime Bureau, we actually help some of the corporate. We identify more than 90 bugs, zero-day bugs, 2,000 plus attack warning we issue to them using our AI. We feel we are mature enough to start replicating this to Asia Pacific, because we are a platform business. Basically, we are open for any opportunities anywhere on this planet. So that is our next step: more service, more products, and serving more markets.
So I guess you're ready to raise more fund, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Talk about raising fund, right? If you guys are here this morning, we heard about how difficult it is now, right? To raise funds, and we had great panel discussion this morning. But the gentleman next to me, Sheldon, from Buy&Ship. Right? Once again, congratulations for completing your Series B fundraising. Right? If I remember correctly, you raised it $6 million US.
In total, it's 16.
16, right?
6 million from May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
total round.
Okay. Thank you. So please let us share with us, right? Because Buy&Ship is actually one of our long-time graduate, our alumni, right? They have graduated many years ago. But please share with us, here, especially also some of our elite innovators. How did you go about, actually scaling up your business after your product launch, and now you're operating in multiple markets, and it must be a very difficult decisions, right, to consider where to expand, right, and show the return to investors. Can you give us some insights on that?
First of all, I've got to thank Cyberport first, because the lead investors actually come through the network of Cyberport, right? Which is the Japanese government fund. And we're very lucky to, got their investment because we're aligned with the mandate. Buy&Ship is a cross-border shopping platform, consumer-facing. And last year we did $150 million Japanese goods to the rest of the world. And the investors believe that by investing in Buy&Ship and supporting us, we can bring even more Japanese product to the world. Right? So the reason why is, find the right investor, and we're grateful to achieve that. And what is next is how do we use AI and data to help customers get better deals? As a consumer or consumer myself, I don't feel like I should pay more because of where I live. Even though I can afford it, I don't like to be ripped off. And that's what Buy&Ship do. By connecting you to the world's deal, we find you the best offering and also access. And in terms of countries, Hong Kong is only 40% of our business. We're in 12 markets right now. And the tool or strategy that we go is always finding the right partner. And this is very difficult. I got cheated by local partners at least 3 times in my career. Most of the chances, you bring in a good business model, we plan it together, and once before you launch, they launch it before you and just kick us out, right? And we're very lucky to get right partners now by our investors network. Not just the one that they know and refer to you, but the ones that they have worked with before. All right, this is a very important guideline for us. Have they worked with these referrals? Is there trust in there? And the second thing is alignment on interest. There are some good partnerships, but in the end of the day, after 2 years, we don't see a way out to get cash, then everyone will just stop participating and spending their time on it. So what we do now is a different kind of JV. 2 years later, we become same company, so everyone continues to have the same goal and value.
So you now have the money. So where are you going to spend it? Because this morning we heard that all these business model innovation doesn't work anymore, right? So you have to have some substance and some kind of convincing argument on your future. So what kind of technology can you invest into?
So two parts. One is how do we do more automations to improve the whole logistic operation, lowering the cost, speeding up the process. So this add values to our customers. And this is also a competitive advantage because the more money we put in, the more investment we put in, the harder for others to catch up. And on the other side, it's AI. I always had a dream to build a cross-border price comparison engine. We have that on Google, but they show you like the local price comparison. They don't show you the world's data because you cannot get it. There's no point in showing you that. And in the past, price comparison is so difficult because of the data that we need to collect and cleaning up. Last year, our customers bought from 36,000 different sites. If I need to do all that customization on scraping, which is impossible. So we have applied AI to collecting data, cleaning up the data, and also comparing the same product from different markets and offering the results to customers. So this is what we're building now, and we're going to launch a new app in November that will help you find the best deal in the world.
I look forward to seeing that new app coming up. Thank you, Sheldon. So next, I want to go to Pak-Sun, right? So you guys are working in AI, right? So everybody talking about AI. And thanks for trusting Cyberport and joining our program. I remember discussing with you, even before you joined our program, and you know that we are building the biggest AI supercomputer center for Hong Kong, right? So I know that Votee, has been, very, very innovative in developing your own LLM, and you specialize in the low resource language LLM. Can you tell us more about, what you're trying to build and what you plan, to do, in the coming years?
Yeah, thanks for having me again, Eric, and a huge thanks to Cyberport as well. So my name is Pak-Ting. I'm the founder and CEO of Votee. So as you kind of alluded to, what Votee is doing is, if you take a look at the current stage of large language models, the biggest problem is that it hallucinates. If you translate that back to a low resource language, the precision drops to below 50%. So therefore, banks can't use it, corporates can't use it, and governments can't use it. So our first partnership was with Amazon. So we built Hong Kong's first Cantonese large language model. We're also building the first large multimodal model. And the reason why we're doing this is, again, to address the same pain point, which is accuracy. So if you look at Hong Kong, for example, Hong Kong's GDP, let's call it $500 billion. 90% of that is GDP based. If you take a look at that 93%, almost roughly half of it is very disruptible through large language models. So that's why we see this as a big, I guess, by creating the first LLM, it solves Hong Kong's problem. But number two, it also kind of creates this big opportunity. So to your next question, our next move is to kind of continue to build LLMs for low resource languages. So if you look at Asia, for example, there's over 2,500 languages. Africa has over, I think, 1,000 languages as well. So we see this as sort of our roadmap, if you will.
So, everybody asks me how to get into our program and what do we look for, right? One thing that we always say is we look for scalable company. So I know that you have a diverse, customer base. So how do you actually make your business kind of scalable with this wide spectrum of customers?
Yeah, it's a very good question and something that we're also kind of actively approaching. The first one is if you build a foundational model, it's scalable by nature. So if a lot of people use it, then from that you have that scalability. We also do a lot of partnerships. So we're partnering with one of Hong Kong's most prominent family in building a technology for the property side of things. So we see it two things. One is build foundational model, help it scale. We'll also build applications on top of it. The other part is to do partnerships where we can also do revenue share, where we partner with incumbents that are already, that already has a presence in the market. So for instance, property or medical and so on and so forth. And that way, when you have revenue share, you're essentially just providing your technology, but you also get the upside as well. So those are sort of two main approaches for scalability.
And one more question: how important it is to have this kind of AI infrastructure like what we're building?
Oh, it's hugely important. I think we're kind of, as an AI company, some governments deem this as a critical technology, and therefore sanctions do affect us. So having this cluster of AI allows us to be able to access the computational power that we need. So I think it's hugely important. I think through the different interviews we give, we always going to give Cyberport a shout out, because I think without that, it's hard for banks, for example, to train large language models or GPTs or fine-tune stuff. So again, with this access and with something as prominent as Cyberport, this gives us sort of, or rather it gives no excuses for banks and governments to really adopt AI in the sense.
Thank you. And by the way, Hong Kong Monetary Authority have just announced that they will be launching a generative AI sandbox with Cyberport, for banks to explore various different AI usage and for the banking sector. Right? So Arthur, right? We discussed, what should be the best name, for the business you are in, right? So you started with a prop tech company. You do also smartness for building, monitoring all this, and now we figured the name that ESG, user behavior platform for social innovation, would be the good name to describe the company, right? So can you share a little bit about, as a kind of a tech venture company, why do you actually repivotal your original business from a prop tech companies to what you are doing now? And when you do this repivotal decision, what are the kind of the key factors, right, for considerations?
Thank you very much. My name is Arthur. Thanks for being here. Listen to me. Like you said, scalability and practicality. ESG has to be scalable and practical. Just raise your hands. Who doesn't think ESG is important? It's not important. Great. Why? This is one of the reasons why. So I would guess 99% of people would think ESG is important. Yeah? If it's so important, does anyone can value what their ESG contribution in a society? None of us can, right? That's why it's a buzzword. That's why it's not practical. It's not scalable. Hong Kong wants to be the greenest financial hub city of Asia. Okay? What do? We give out green loans, which is great. That's why 5-6 years ago, we helped developers, real estate developers, to utilize green loan to make their buildings smarter and greener, so they can have a dashboard to put a report so they can get off and get on with life. Yeah? But COVID actually came and then realized, wow, I can't even go to the building, install my sensors. Does it mean my business is going to close down, right? And also, right now, an interest rate's very high. Developers are not going to borrow money. That means they have less of an incentives to actually make the building green. Because right now, they're focusing on how do you collect rent, right? It's not about how green the building is, it's how do I collect rent. It boils down to actually what is the most important factor of ESG. ESG is about people driving social value, right? To gain happiness. So the thing is, if it's at the end of the day, it's about people, why can't we quantify our social value? I'm sure everyone has heard about Bitcoin. How much is Bitcoin worth right now? 58,000 US. Well, the ESG investment market is 15 times bigger than the cryptocurrency market. Cryptocurrency is 2.5 trillion. ESG investment is $30 trillion. Why doesn't it become practical to the individual level? So this is what we do. We incentivize individual, Okay, for SME, there's no point doing ESG because I'm not listed company. Well, in 3 months' time, Hong Kong Stock Exchange mandate every single listed company must do ESG. Hong Kong MA announced that every single bank, every single employee needs to promote sustainability culture. How do you quantify sustainability culture? Definitely not going to the beach and clean up and take a photo, right? So how do you quantify this? So that's what we do with Zero to our app. We personalize and digitize your daily sustainable behavior through smart living, okay? And then we reward you with coins, and these coins can get you discount experiences to make it practical. So we help corporates to incentivize individual, including employee, to drive the green economy by doing social innovation to make ESG practical and scalable.
Thank you. And when you you said that you partner with a lot of various different large corporations, and I remember we introduced you to the housing society, right? And you actually did a great project with them. So what's your plan in terms of your upcoming scaled up with this partnership?
Through Housing Society, we did 150 residential buildings, 100,000 people using our app to change their lifestyle so they can be rewarded, and Housing Society can get data and put in a report. Everybody wins. By doing ESG, these public housing residents can actually feel happiness. In Cantonese, it's called 幸福感. Okay, so we leveraging this model to partner with banks, partner with insurance company. We signed with insurance company that have 800,000 policy holders just in Hong Kong. Okay, so as an insurance company, after I sell you this policy, what can you do? How do you engage your policy holders? Nothing. So that's why they are onboarding their 800,000 policy holders onto our app to help them, to guide them to lead a sustainable, smart living so they can reduce their risk and also create conversion. They can get more premiums and get more discounts to make everybody wins. Also, we're working with a bank right now that actually is participating with the Hong Kong D, the centralized bank digital currency. The purpose is how do we leverage CBDC to actually create a purpose-bound money, right? For us, think about it, just like our app will become a green octopus, okay? So when the government wants to give out money, right, they would say, you know what, instead of cash, I'll give you digital currency, okay? But how do you earn it? You have to be ESG. You have to recycle, you have to donate blood, you have to reduce your home utility bill, all that. So the government, through our app, in theory, will give you digital coin. That's the earn part. The burn part is, well, if I give you $5,000 in cash, the first thing I do is I will buy a plane ticket and go to Japan, right? Because, well, the government pays for the plane ticket, no? But that doesn't help our economy. So the purpose of this digital currency, I will be able to bound where it's going to be used. Okay, so we're going to help using the concept of ESG to drive green economy. That's what we do, banks and insurance company.
Thank you. Right. So one more thing I would ask you is we talk about it a little bit about how your app or your platform could actually support some of our community members here, right? Doing related stuff, right? So you become like a ESG app stores, right? That pushes those applications and various different value propositions to the customers, right? Can you share us a little bit about this?
Yeah, so at the end of the day, our app is just I would say an ecosystem that help any kind of corporate, association, organization, school to drive their stakeholder engagement. So we empower them to tell them how can it drive ESG impact in Hong Kong. So for example, pharmacy could be a green urban planning, urban agriculture company, right? Their vegetables are very green, right? Very low carbon, right? So we can incentivize people to earn points from actual daily behavior, and they can use a discount rate to buy those products. For example, I have 800,000 users from this insurance company on our platform. I'm here to help all my other colleagues and other incubatees to push their product to these 800,000 users. Very, very simple, right? So it's a collaboration effort, and then it's a platform, and then everything it's on blockchain. That's why you don't have an auditor, right? You know what? Even for a listed company, 2,600 companies, only 7% of these listed companies engage a third-party auditor to provide assurance report. Only 7%. So whatever they publish, we don't know what's right or wrong. But if it's on blockchain, it's transparent.
So my call, to all the community members working in the green space, that we definitely need to work closer together, right, to give a better value propositions to the end customers at the end. So let's come back to Sheldon, right? Yeah, we suffered 3 or even more than 3 years of pandemic. I guess that pandemic has changed user behavior a lot. But as a result, I guess people find it, doing e-commerce a norm, right? So it's kind of support your business growth, as I guess. But then as this is becoming the norm, is more people, joining the game. So how do you plan to differentiate yourself? I'm sure that your Series B is not the end of your fundraising. So what are you going to tell your investors?
I mean, pandemic got a lot of people to shop, not just online, but overseas. And at the beginning, it's mastered by a lot of masks, sanitary stuff. But in our business, there's one good trend, is it's very sticky. If a customer make a purchase overseas, 50% of them, for 9 years, they still stick with us. So, we have very good retention because the value proposition is there, right? So how do we get more people to enjoy this benefit? Is by making global shopping as easy as shopping locally, right? So what we invest in is your experience. You know that you can save money, you can get more stuff overseas, but this experience has to be as easy as locally. So, this is where we are pushing a lot of resources, building tech team, putting AI into automating some of your process, solving your payment issues. And in the end, we think the vision is, I want you to come to Buy&Ship before you make any purchase. Because, shopping locally can be more expensive or limited choices. And it's probably more value creations on that as well.
Thank you. And Felix, I used to be a technology head of, big companies, and I have spent a lot of money on cybersecurity, right? And I always joke about saying, cybersecurity companies, it's like, a game of like threatening the client. If you don't do this, you're going to, get this. And it seems like, we are also, in the cyber security space, we're still kind of trying to, increase the pie, through increasing the awareness, and also to offer, real value, to the end customers. So how do you plan to, make your, value proposition even more attractive to your customer and grow your business with it?
Yeah, thanks, Eric, for the question. So for cybersecurity, I think a lot of the component comes to localize how we make a cybersecurity service that can be accepted by the local market. So using Hong Kong as an example, that's the reason why we work with the Hong Kong Police Force and also we work with them to build the first ever digital badge to award and recognize corporates that have been doing well in cybersecurity. We issue 47 badges, and we also look at the dark web because the market is localized, but hackers are coming from everywhere. So we also look at the dark web, look at the breach forum, and help organizations to understand how many of their systems are already be scanned by hackers, and the hackers already got enough data to launch the next wave of the attack. So we help the corporate to have that visibility. So by using AI, we try to make that happen and help organizations to combat with hackers all around the world.
Okay. So I was just, informed that we just have 2-3 minutes left. So I need to ask you one last question for every one of you. Give us some advice for those aspiring innovators. How do they actually start their business and grow the business, from your own experiences? Can I start, with Pak-Sun?
Yeah, I think Cyberport. I think for one, for sure. And number two is find partnerships. I think partnerships has been a bigger driver for sort of for our scalable revenue as well as adoption and application. So I think partnerships and joint institutions like Cyberport.
Felix.
I think being agile. Doing the bug bounty, we need to have different partners. And thanks to Cyberport, we actually get connection with the Hong Kong Police Force and build a wonderful campaign for Hong Kong. So being agile.
Yeah, collaborate more, right? Because money is not a thing to have right now. VC becomes a PE becomes a bank, right? So not enough money going around. So be smart and be efficient, right? And get market share by collaborating and partnerships.
People, all right, internal, external. Internal side is the earlier we figure out what the culture is, how we work together, and filter out the people that doesn't fit the culture, will help the company scale. Because as we get to one point, in the end, it's all about people.
Okay, I think I have to call it an end, and let's give us a big round of applause to all panelists.